Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. I'm reading today for Aquarius energy and you are showing up big time in your reading. You've got some light and shadow stuff coming through, some stuff about connection to, maybe you've got particular beliefs about kind of like the devil and God. I don't know, that's not going to be for everybody, but it has that kind of quality to it. I don't know, maybe you've been looking at, because this is a reading about leaving 2022 behind and like moving forwards into 2023 with this kind of like what's coming through for you, like very healing energy, very like connecting with your better self. Perhaps it's like doing things better, being a better person, changing things, changing the way that you've done things in the past if that's been particularly toxic or negative for you. You're really going into a new cycle, I want to say, and it's a big change that's coming within you. But I want to say it could be a situation where you feel a little bit like you made some wrong choices. But I want to really assure you, if you've been beating yourself up about stuff, that it's all going to be absolutely fine. This is a really positive reading. So what do I have for you? So the first thing that was coming through for you is this feeling of like, which is very Aquarius. You're ruled by the planet Uranus, which is in the underlying of my own deck. So you're showing up in your own reading, your ruling planet showing up in your own reading. It's coming through like, I call it Starman energy. Some of you may know I have this very Aquarian Uranus guide who I associate with Starman energy. This card kind of carries that energy. It's like being able to, it's almost like having Wi-Fi in your head. If you're trying to explain it, it's like having Wi-Fi in your head, like kind of like nature's Wi-Fi in a way, and being able to connect to like the spiritual web to get information. So through Starman, when I connect with this energy, I get things like physics, I get science, I get things that I don't know, things that I was never taught in school, and I can get things and like look it up and it'll be like a legit thing. So for me, the Starman guide, this kind of Aquarian guide, is a very it's like Google. It's like if you had like some kind of like physics Google but installed in your brain, like that's what it comes through as, and it just feeds me random information and random facts that I'm like, why do I need to know about molecules and I don't know, gluons and I'm like, I can't even think of any of the other words like atoms and quarks and all this kind of stuff, but that's what they give me. It's like, this is how holograms work. So that's, you may not be like that in real life, right? That may not be something that you're particularly interested in, but it's a quality of the planet for me. So yeah, really interesting that it's come through like this. And then it's so Aquarian. The cards that came out, two of them were space mirrors. And I was like, what are space mirrors? Like, I'm reading it like together. So space, right? Again, the planet Uranus is up in space. Aquarius is a very spaceman energy for me. Think about David Bowie's Capricorn, I think, but I always associate him with Aquarius energy. I think he had like an Aquarius moon. So he's kind of got that, like starman waiting in the sky energy to it. So it just comes through as very Aquarian for me. Very quirky, very innovative, very much going against the grain, doing things differently, ruffling feathers, very Aquarius. So yeah, you've got space, right? Space man, always wanted you to go. Sorry, they're just giving me the Aquarius songs. This the Starman songs, and then mirrors, right? So mirrors are portals, right? Mirrors are a tool that we can use to reflect on ourselves. They can help us to have a different perspective on things. So one of your cards in the Tarot Aquarius is the Hangman, which is coming through with the Four of Cups actually today. So turning things on its head, right? Looking at things from the opposite perspective, being able to really turn a situation around, or makes almost like you've got control of the wheel of fortune, right? It's like you can switch this around, you can change the perspective, you can think outside of the box. So I don't know, there's something about space mirrors. What would that be? I mean, maybe like stars in the sky, right, are like little space mirrors. I don't know. I'm sorry, this is kind of coming through as a channeled message, so bear with me, it's a bit out there. Again, Aquarius, it's your fault. Don't blame the reader, blame the energy, blame your ruling planet. So yeah, it's like, like this has been a common theme this week. This idea of like being in not being able to see, so perhaps being in the night or being in a foggy environment, and being able to signal with light. So for Capricorn, it came through yesterday like a torch. You know how you could do like an SOS. Why do we? Yeah, SOS. I thought it was saying SAS. SOS signal with light, right? You can send out a signal in that way, you know, dot dot dash, but with light. And you can do a similar thing with mirrors as well. So if you've got a mirror, you can catch the sun. You also have the sun in the underlying, just to kind of quickly show you. So you have the sun card here. So it's like you could use a mirror to reflect the light and give that kind of that signal. You know, catch someone's attention. Perhaps if you say you were out in the woods, you needed help, you could use a mirror to catch attention. So yeah, it could be something like, I know that stars are suns, right? We know that stars are suns, but it's like the idea of like, what if there was something reflective up in the sky? What if the, like, I don't know, I don't know why it's coming through this way. I'm just going to say it. So it's like, what if the stars were mirrors, right? And they were just like reflecting the sun back to us. I mean, this is what the moon does, right? This is why we can see the moon, because the light bounces off it and back to us. So space mirrors. I don't know, you could even think of like objects up in the sky. So you can see too many words coming out at once. You can see the space station sometimes, because obviously it's made of metal, it reflects light. So sometimes you can see the space station kind of acting like a mirror in the sky. I don't know, it's coming through, it's very Aquarian. Like that kind of like technology and things like that. You've also got the castle. I don't know, the castle, make of that what you will. If I put them together, space mirrors in the castle, it could be that you've got a new space. I had a dream last night that I was in a new house. I hadn't bought it yet, but I started painting the walls orange. So if that's significant to anyone, that's the message that came through in my dreams. But yeah, maybe you've bought a new place. Maybe you're calling it your castle, right? The king, or a man's home is his castle. My words are coming out far too quickly, guys. I'm going to try and slow down, because I can't talk as fast as the messages are coming in. So I'm going to try and slow down, but just bear with me if that's as I try and do that. So yeah, you could have bought a new home. You've got a lot of space. Maybe you're looking at, how do I fill this space, or how do I create the feeling of space in this room? So it could be that you're using mirrors to create the illusion of a more spacious environment. Take that as it resonates, leave it if it doesn't. Oh, take a breath. While I was kind of like channeling your energy, you had this feeling of going against the rules, because it feels right. So this is again very, very kind of like the rebellious spirit of Aquarius. It's like, if I think there's a better way to do it, I'm going to try it that way, because maybe the rules are outdated, maybe the old practices are outdated. How do we know if there's a better way of doing this if we never give it a shot? So you seem to be kind of going against, I don't know if it's the rules, but it's like the expected way of doing things, right? You're doing things in a different way. It's making me think of that song, you know, I'm doing it a different way. Maybe this is to do with love for you. This definitely has a vibe of attraction in your reading. So you could be doing something a different way, maybe approaching someone in an unusual way, which is in your cards. I'll come to that in a bit. But yeah, it feels right. You're trusting your instincts. You're trying something different. And I've wrote down sixth sense and third eye. Again, it's like you have a higher perspective, right? You have an out of the box way of thinking, and you're letting your heart, right? You're letting your instincts or your sixth sense guide you in this situation, because it's like, you know there's something to discover by doing it differently. And it may be that you discover mistakes, right? Which you can use and apply in a very strategic way, because you are an air sign, right? You're the King of Swords, very, very strategic. So it's like, there's no such thing as mistakes, because when you do make a mistake, it's actually exposing a flaw, right? It's a learning lesson. It's exposing flaws in the system. It's something that you can then improve on. So there's no bad mistakes. There's only bad ways of dealing with mistakes. And you seem to be understanding that mistakes are learning points. So then I was guided to Google the planet Uranus, right? So I was told properties of Uranus. So Aquarians, I went ahead and I Googled Uranus, and sorry, I had to get that in there. That's what she said. And I've got some facts, okay? I know this is a tarot reading and it's probably not what you came here for, but I've got some facts about Uranus. And again, it could be that maybe you've got a kid who's, it felt like I was doing homework, right? So maybe you're telling someone, maybe you're a teacher and you're like, go and Google this planet, go and research this planet, right? So it's like this research quality to it. So it could be that you're doing this with your kids. It could be that you're doing a project, you need to get more information. So take that as it resonates, right? But it's called an ice giant. Now it's one of two ice giants along with Neptune, but it's not actually icy. So it has a very, very small icy core, but then it also says that the core can reach 900 degrees Fahrenheit, and that's not icy, I don't think. It's actually a very, very hot planet. So the actual gas and the not, what's it called, not the environment, what would you call it, the atmosphere. The atmosphere is actually very, very hot, and it's made up of things like water, methane, ammonia, metallic hydrogen, helium, and carbon, and sulfur. So these are all very, very, very hot. It's a really hot planet, right? So it's funny that we call it an ice giant. So it could be something about you, actually. I don't know if maybe you have an outer appearance of being very, very hot. It could also be somebody that you're dealing with this Queen of Wands here. I need to say, guys, sorry, it's it was just 11:11 on the timestamp, I noticed. It's getting a bit dark. We've not got very many daylight hours, which is actually in the reading. I'm going to talk about that in a sec. So I thought I was going to get this reading done on time while I still had enough light, but it is getting dark, so I'm sorry about the quality visually of the reading. Okay, back to Uranus. Back to Uranus. Depending on how you say it. So yeah, it could be that you or somebody else presents perhaps as being very hot, very passionate, very fiery, very airy perhaps, but you have quite an icy core, right? Take that, make of that what you will. Some other facts, I don't know, it has 13 rings. So like Saturn, it's a planet that has rings, 13 of them, quite a few. It has 27 moons, right? 27 space mirrors. It has really extreme seasons. So this could be talking about somebody's temperament. Maybe they have a very extreme nature. Maybe they swing from one mood to another, very passionate perhaps. And the reason for this is that the equator is at 90 degrees to its orbit. So that's what creates these really intense seasons. So much so that it has what's known as 42 years of darkness. So its seasons are actually mean that parts of the planet have are in this like 42-year winter. I don't know if that's significant to you. Like I'm getting like maybe it's like a phase of your life, like a 42-year phase of your life, right? With this being your ruling planet. So if you feel like you've spent a big chunk of your life in shadow in some sort of way, it's like now the light is coming. Now it's going to be your summer season is the way it's coming through. So don't worry if you've had a very maybe a dark life up until now. The season is going to change is the message with that. I was getting that, I didn't know this and I found it absolutely fascinating. Uranus has diamond rain, and it's exactly what it sounds like. It literally rains diamonds. It's believed, like scientists believe that it rains diamonds on Uranus. And the reason is because there's so much carbon in the atmosphere and there's so much pressure that the carbon is very quickly compressed into literal diamonds, which rain from the sky. Like, isn't that incredible? Diamond rain. Now your reading starts with purity, and with that quality of like the unicorn, right? The unicorn is coming through as something that's very, very rare. I want to say it could be you, or it could be somebody. It's coming through as you because it's the first card, but flip and reverse it as well. It could be somebody. I'm seeing it as a person, like a quality of a person that you've been looking for, right? You've been looking for somebody who has that purity, who carries that rare unicorn energy is the way it's coming through. This is something that you've been searching for. Now, it could be, if it's not a literal person in your life, or it's not literally you, like you having this diamond heart, it's, or diamond soul, right? That's a Libra thing. It comes through in Libra's readings a lot. It could be that you have been maybe searching for the light, right? Searching for some kind of quality spiritually and astrally of something that is incredibly pure. Maybe you've been looking for a diamond with like perfect clarity, I don't know, but it's coming through like that, like this thing that you've been searching for, and the quality that you're looking for is this very rare and hard to find purity energy. So yeah, it's like it could be something that you've been looking for inside yourself, right? You're looking for your own, it's like your diamond core, right? Your ice core, the soul, the light, the soul inside yourself. So do take it as it resonates and kind of leave it if it doesn't. But this thing that you've been searching for, it's like you're searching the woods for it and then you see it, right? It's like suddenly that unicorn, which is symbolic of whatever it is that you've been searching for that's very unique and pure, is like stood there in front of you. And so you have this feeling of perhaps it's not the right time to approach it, or like you have to do this slowly, because next to this is the Seven of Earth, and this particular card always looks to me like somebody who wants something, right? The guy wants the fairy, but he's being pulled away. Can you see? It's almost like, I don't know what this is, but it always looks to me like it's almost like a lion's paw, and it's like somebody's turned, maybe spirit, right? Maybe spirit has got your shoulder and it's turning you away and saying now is not the right time to approach this. You know, it's too, it's almost like you'll startle it, is the way it's coming through. Yeah, because you've got like slow and steady wins the race here as well, on the same line as the Seven of Pentacles, which is the same energy. It's this energy of like slow and steady wins the race. Give it time. Good things come to those who wait. Capricorn had that yesterday. Like take it easy, do it softly, do it gently, be consistent. So it's almost like if this was some kind of wild animal, because you also have this King of Cups here with this swan, right? So it's like if you suddenly saw this this magnificent creature, and it was, again, it's like very, very rare, it's very unique, it's very special that you saw this. It's like if you move too quickly, again, it's like because it's rare, it's not used to being around people, something like that. Like, again, a lot of things come through metaphorically, so there's a bit of interpretation that you need to do on your end. So I'm just going to kind of say what I'm getting. So it's like this rare creature, it's perhaps because it protects itself, right? It wants to stay, it's shy or something, it stays away from people. It's something that is, it's like it's telling me like the Princess in the Woods. Like, yeah, I've watched Sleeping Beauty, sorry, not Sleeping Beauty, Maleficent recently. So there's a little bit of Maleficent in here with like the crows and things. So I mean, maybe if you've watched that movie recently, you'll understand what I'm saying. But it's like like Sleeping Beauty in that movie, she carries that energy, right? She carries that energy of like this very pure nature, in contrast to Maleficent's kind of like more hurt, jaded, darker nature. But she like wanders around the forest and she's the princess. So it's like to approach her directly, it could startle her because she's not used to, because like the solitude is protective. It's like, I hope that makes sense. Does that make any sense? It's just like a wild animal, right? A wild animal is not used to being around people, so you have to approach it very, very carefully and gently. They're showing me actually a dodo video that I watched recently where someone saw a wild cat and they were trying to get this cat to they were trying to rescue the cat, right? They were trying to give it somewhere to live. So they started just kind of like putting food out kind of near the gate where they used to see it at some distance, and, you know, a little like a shelter for it so it could be warm when it was outside. And gradually they started to move the food closer and they started to move closer. And eventually they were able to like stroke the cat and the cat started to trust them. And then one day the cat went into the home. It was very cute. But it's that kind of energy. It's like this trust gained over time. Now with the King of Cups being here, I am kind of seeing it as your energy. I'm finding it hard to know who's who in this reading. And again, it could be something that you're discovering in yourself. Maybe you thought you had a very icy core, right? You thought you were very, I'm hearing impenetrable. That's again very Aquarius energy, to kind of be a little bit Ice Queen, Ice King, just an air sign thing. You know, hard to get close to, hard to understand, or something like that. The King of Cups has really, really deep emotions, right? Very intuitive, very aligned with spirit, and their intuition, their sixth sense. You know, it's almost high priestess energy. But yeah, really big emotions. Like this person feels a lot, but they have self-control, they have self-mastery over that. So they don't always show their emotions, which again, if you're seen as being a bit of an icy character, it could be that you just keep your emotions well hidden, but you have them and they are very deep. Or that this is what you're looking for, right? It's like you're looking for somebody with this quality, this deep, deep, pure emotion with like self-control, like self-mastery, something like that, just because of the white of the two animals. So, and of course the swan is very beautiful, it's very elegant because you have beauty here as well. So it's like this thing is very attractive to you, the purity of it is very attractive, and it's actually coming through. And again, flip it and reverse it, it could be that somebody sees you this way as this kind of very unique, very pure, very like big-hearted person, huge amount of emotional control, right? And this is coming through as actually incredibly, again, very rare, kind of unattainable, right? How do you reach a star? But also very, very healing. The star card carries this, like, it's like big emotional healing energy. Is a very, very high vibrational card, and it's your card in the tarot. So again, this could be your quality, and you're looking for this in somebody else, right? You're looking for somebody who mirrors this back to you. I want to say it does feel like somebody in this situation has been hurt, because you have, let me just pull some of the underlying cards out for you. So you have these two cards, the Three of Air, which is pain. It's emotional pain. It's somebody who's been hurt, right? So they're carrying that emotional pain around with them. And then this comes with the Nine of Swords as well. Again, very, very white creature, and it's protective, right? It's protecting this little polar bear cub as well. But the Nine of Swords is like a lot of fears. So I want to say it could be that somebody's been hurt in the past, and again, it's not that they don't feel they've got the King of Cups energy. It could be now, it could be a water sign, or you could have water sign placements, because King of Cups is Scorpio and the polar bear is Pisces to me. But it's like, because you're an air sign, right, and air is swords energy, which is very, very mental, you've got this feeling of like a big heart, right? A big heart, but being hurt and shutting down and going icy, right? To protect, to have that icy exterior, which is funny because Uranus is actually the opposite, right? Uranus is fiery, but it has a cold, rocky core. So I don't know. I don't make of that what you will. But yeah, there's some fear caused by pain in the past. And then you've got Queen of Air under that as well. So yeah, absolutely, like, that's Elsa, right? That's Ice Queen. That's, I'm going to shut myself away in my ice castle, and I don't want anyone to come near me because I'm healing. And again, look at that big white owl. Owls were really, really significant for Libra this week. I don't know if you're connecting with the Libra, if you've got Libra placements, but maybe go and check out their reading. But then under that is like Eight of Cups as well. So that's like Isa. Maybe you've got some Isas, I don't know. Elsa in her ice castle and alone, but longing, right? Longing for the love that they felt in the past before they were hurt. And you've got the Sun twice now as well, because underneath the Nine of Swords, which is a lot of fear, right? And fear normally comes from the mind. Fear is normally the scenarios that we scare ourselves with rather than the actual reality of the situation. It's like if something's scaring you in your reality, you have to deal with it, you have to do something about it. But a lot of the fear comes from the mind, from what could happen. So underneath that, you've got the Sun card with this really beautiful Queen of Wands character showing up again. And the Sun is an energy of everything's clear, everything's in the open, everything's understood, nothing's hidden, and there's a lot of freedom and warmth, right? And if you think about it as well, if you're looking for somebody with the same qualities as you and you're a star, you are actually a sun. So a sun would match you because you're both suns, you're both stars, right? Because you also have like the Sun card here as well. So yeah, the Sun twice. So again, a lot of light coming in for you. If you've had quite a dark year, I feel like things are really going to take a turn. Like you're going to get the clarity, you're going to get the inner clarity, right? This is clarity that comes from you being like, I see my situation clearly. I know what I have to do, right? And maybe shutting yourself down and closing yourself off was part of your healing. It was something you needed to do. You had to go full Queen of Swords, Elsa, right? In order to recover and think things through and have that peace and quiet, because you have deep quiet, right? Meditation and stillness. It's like you had to isolate, or this character that you're dealing with had to isolate, because they had to do that inner work. They had to dig really deep. Maybe it is Libra that you're dealing with. They had to dig really deep to find the inner light, right? Because Libra had this whole thing about like digging to the bottom of a yogurt pot to find the fruit, right? So look for the good stuff in a situation. And they had this thing about like a black night and trying to find this one star in the sky, like trying to connect. So yeah, I feel like this, whatever this is symbolic of, right, this diamond light energy, this you know, a pure soul, the quality of if you're religious, so the quality of God itself, right? Source energy, you know, the light that started the Big Bang. I don't know what it is, right? It's like you're looking for that pure, bright light, diamond quality energy. And it could be that you're doing this in meditation, you're searching for it in meditation, you're astrally projecting perhaps, or you're just doing that deep dive within yourself. But it's like you need the quiet, right? You need that stillness, you need the quiet in order to be able to concentrate on this. And what I always say when I meditate and I focus on this bright light energy myself, this, you know, it's like so when I'm in meditation, I envision a diamond, and this diamond has this bright light inside it. And when I really connect with that energy, again, it's like God or source or whatever you want to call it. I don't know. We give names. Hello, crows. It's funny because we're going to the crows next. You've got 2 crows in the reading and they are chatting. So it's like you tune in. I was talking about this in one of the readings, like you tune the dial during meditation or something, and you focus on the light. It could just be, if we dial this back in and make it more like a reality that everybody can understand, it's like just doing a bit of meditating and focusing on the good, right? Focusing on the hope, especially if you've been in a very dark situation. It's like you're focusing, not being in that 9 of Swords energy of like getting in your own head and, you know, thinking, oh God, or everything bad that could happen. It's like you're going, where's the good in this situation? If I can just find one tiny glimmer of light and hope, I'm going to cling to it. And that's all I'm going to focus on, which is a very, very positive thing to be able to do. Obviously, you don't want to be like toxic positivity. I think it's something to do with your own healing and your own ability to cope by really focusing on the good in bad situations. It's like it's what gets you through and it heals you. So yeah, this diamond bright light pure energy that I focus on feels like love to me. It's like unconditional love. That is the highest vibration that you could possibly connect to, right? So it's like you are finding this, that you're finding this, I want to say, within yourself, within meditation, right? Within finding it in being able to spot it in other people, right? Being able to search for that light in others as well. It's like you know how to search the environment now because you know the frequency or the resonance of this energy. So it's like that's what you're looking for, right? So wherever you're finding it, you know the quality. It's like the it's coming through. It's like, excuse me, hold on. Okay. My little boy just came in. I've also got my my oldest child in the room playing computer games behind me, so you might be able to hear them tippy tapping away. So where was I up to? So yeah, it's like finding this, being able to scan the environment to find this. It's like source code, right? And the source code is unique and pure. It's like pure energy, right? Unfiltered, undiluted, pure energy. And it's love, which again, like these cups, like look at this row, guys, look at this row. Isn't this absolutely beautiful? So a good portion of like water energy, a lot of Venus energy with love and beauty. Like, look at how beautiful that is. So the King of, oh, sorry, it's the Knight of Cups. Okay, it's the Knight of Cups, but I am actually reading it as the King of Cups. So I feel like that's an intentional mistake. I'm going to keep reading it as the King. But if we are reading it as the Knight wants to express love, right? The Knights are taking action. The Knights are communicating. And what's being communicated is love. With the Ace of Cups, and the Ace of Cups is an offer of love. It's like, here, I'm reaching out my hand to you, I'm showing you my feelings, here's the expression of this love that I feel to somebody or something that you find very, very beautiful. Again, flip it and reverse it. This could be coming into you. This person could see you this way. And it could be that you're giving flowers, because I'm really noticing like on the night, they've got these like lotus flowers here. It's in this cup as well. And it's also on these cards, these kind of like pink flowers. So there could be something about pink flowers. And again, these kind of like lilies or lotus flowers here. So the lotus flowers and lilies are symbolic of something that is beautiful and successful despite growing in quite a swampy environment. I think it may have been Capricorn had a touch of this as well with the dragonfly spirit. So it's like something that bloomed even though it was in a challenging environment, right? Something that can remained beautiful and pure even though the situation was a bit yucky. So again, this could be something that somebody sees in you or something that you've seen in another and you want to express it. Coming through is very, very, very high vibrational, high frequency. Now, again, you have this slow and steady wins the race. So I want to say, again, if we just kind of go this way with beauty, again, it's like this thing that you've seen in the woods, and it's like standing out because it's like the frequency of it, the beauty of it is like, it's almost like I can't believe I found this thing that I've been searching for, right? And then beauty, like Sleeping Beauty, I don't know. So I want to say that this person is, either you are incredibly attractive to this person, but I'm going to read it the other way. It's like this person is incredibly attractive to you. It's like they're a magnet, right? It's like, because this, again, it's like so pure and rare and like exactly what you're looking for, and it's vibrationally in alignment with you because you're so high vibrational. It's like, it's like irresistible, right? So this person, they're not low vibrational at all. Like they're coming through as, again, like matching your high vibrational energy. So the Queen of Wands, she knows her worth. She makes the best of herself. She's confident. She absolutely owns it. So she is seen as being a very attractive, beautiful character. And it could be that somebody's very, again, it could be somebody sees you this way, but flip it and reverse it. It could be that they're very, very beautiful. But of course, you're actually looking at their soul, right? They have this beautiful soul, like this beautiful, almost like angelic heart quality. And again, like they don't need you. This is the thing, because this goes into the Nine of Cups. They don't need you, right? They're really, really good on their own. They're actually quite independent, which could be very attractive to you because you're Aquarius energy. And again, flip it and reverse it. Somebody could see you this way. I'm sorry that the reading's getting so dark. But it's like, that's attractive to you as well. Like the fact that this person has self-worth, right? This part that this person knows how awesome they are. They know that they're attractive. They know. And then the Nine of Cups is like they're good on their own, emotionally stable, not looking for anything. They don't need anyone to complete them, right? They have the diamond soul, right? They're complete, they're high vibrational, gorgeous, really, really gorgeous. So you seem to have this crow energy to you. It's like this, it's like, right, crows could be particularly symbolic for you at this time because you've got 3 crows all together grouped here in the reading. So you've got crow spirit, co-create with spirit. And then you've got the crow, right? And you've got this crow here on this card too. Can you see them? So also, I just want to kind of touch on this energy here of guardians of the land, protection, and this like Patronus character here. This came through as the first card for Capricorn, so somebody could be on the cusp, or you're dealing with a Capricorn and you've got Capricorn placements. You know, I was talking about David Bowie, how he carries like the both energy of Capricorn and Aquarius. But yeah, it's coming through as like you, I want to say, as the watcher, again, flip it and reverse it if needs be, approaching. It's like you're making the approach, right? You are trying to offer your heart to this person, right? You're trying to offer love to them. So if you've watched Maleficent, which I have done recently, there's a character in it who's this he can be transformed between like a crow and a person and other animals, but mainly it's this crow or raven character, and he watches Sleeping Beauty, right? He watches Aurora and he's kind of like her guardian. He's like, he watches her and reports back to Maleficent. So it's like it is coming through with protection, right? And it could be spiritual protection as well. It could be that you are this main character and you've got some kind of like spirit watching out for you, you know, like maybe, I don't know if you believe in like astral projection and kind of like the ability of kind of like shamans to be able to look through the eyes of an animal. It's like this person's watching you through the eyes of the animals. I'm getting paranoid now because some of you may know I've got crows around the rooftops. I'm like, are you watching me, crows? They definitely give me messages. This is the meaning of the crow energy for me if it came out from my own deck. Crows are messengers from spirit. They give you information that's kind of like esoteric spiritual information, because they're very it's like they're very aligned with that energy. They are of our realm, but it's like they are very in tune with the spiritual realm, right? They're messengers from the beyond the veil. So I've had examples for, you know, of crows telling me of it, like the way that they act tells me things. So I'm not going to go into that. Some of you may know the stories. It's getting really dark. I need to move on. So with it being, again, it's like your energy. This is your advice, right? Co-create with spirit. It's like use your spiritual connection. So your ability to tune into, I mean, maybe you can astrally project, but it's like your ability to tune into that very, very pure vibration of it's like source energy. Maybe it is like, maybe for you it's like how I talk to my starman, right? It's my spirit guide. You know, it's like you're connecting into I don't know, maybe it's aliens. I'm not saying it's aliens, but it could be aliens. You know, whatever you believe that to be, right? Whatever you believe that internal Wi-Fi to be, right? Whatever you're connecting with, the frequency that you found that's like pure and it's symbolic of like purity, divinity, high vibration and love, like use it, right? You work with it because we need more of that in the world. Like bring that light down for everybody. So then you've got this approach being made, right? Because look, it's like the crow here is like looking at, again, it's got that feeling of like watching from the shadows, right? Watching from a distance, not wanting to startle us. It's like you're in the same environment, but you're like holding, maybe hanging back. So if this is like a real world situation, it's like it could be somebody at the office, you really, really like them, but you're holding back because maybe they're new. You don't want to kind of like come on too strong. You don't want to scare them. You don't want to kind of like make their red flag system start waving because it's like, what do they want from me? So you're going in with this really like, down here it's like this real soft and gentle approach. So yeah, you do make an approach. I'm seeing here, again, this could be something that happens in 2023 if you're looking for a relationship or just to make friends with somebody. But can you see like the crow is like looking directly at her, and it's this big thing, but it's like when it approaches her, it's this little tiny, I don't know how well you can see this, it's like coming in, like it's making itself small, it's coming in really friendly, it's brought this little offering, it's brought this little stick, and it's like, hey, hi, do you want to play with my stick? Don't say that to people. I want to say there could be something about your reputation, or maybe that, again, flip and reverse it. If this is somebody who's approaching you, they could have a reputation, or you could have a reputation as perhaps maybe being a bit of a heartbreaker, or maybe having a lot of relationships. Again, especially with that song, I'm doing it a different way that came through. But I want to say there's this feeling of turning your back on something. Now, it doesn't have to be that, but with this card here, can you see everything's like looking in this direction? He's got his back turned to what's here. So the Four of Cups, I'm seeing this as you because it's almost like the Hangman, right? If you think about the imagery on the Hangman card, which is Aquarius energy, it's like somebody who's looking at a situation from upside down, right? So it's like turning the situation on its head, changing the way you think about things. So the Four of Cups, though, the meaning of this card is that this person has been disappointed, perhaps disappointed in relationships or love, like things didn't work out, there was disappointment there. So this person's gone, I'm over it, I'm not interested. But the fourth cup is always the Ace of Cups, and the Ace of Cups is what the Knight of Cups is bringing in, right? It's pure love. It's an offer from the heart. It's pure intentions. It's divine as well. It's like divinely orchestrated, this new relationship coming in, this person who's just right for you, who's aligned to you, who's you know, who carries the pure intentions that you do. At least now, again, I've got this feeling of like somebody may have not been this way in the past, because, you know, we get into relationships that aren't good for us, and it makes us you know, we can not be the best version of ourselves, and we can be a little bit toxic. You know, if a relationship is not aligned correctly with us, it can make people act, you know, it can bring out the worst in people. So finding something that aligns with you and that's very, very healing and pure and good and high vibrational can bring out the best in you, right? So you've got this feeling of like turning your back on something, but he is actually looking at this cup, and it's an armadillo, right, as well. Who do I say this about? I don't know if it's the Capricorns. I say this, I'm like, armadillos, hard on the outside, soft on the inside. And of course, you're almost the opposite though, Aquarius. Like the planet Uranus, it has that kind of hardcore, maybe you're very hardcore, I don't know, hardcore parkour, and it has this slushy outside. So again, maybe you're slushy on the outside, but actually quite hard on the inside. I don't know, flip it and reverse it if needs be. But yeah, you've got this turning your back. So there's this energy, if we look here, it's like turning your back on something that is an old contract, right? It could be responsibilities that you're done with, a contract that you're done with. 10 of fire is 10 of wands, and 10 of wands is like you've been carrying these heavy burdens, right? You've been carrying these wands on your back, like this weight on your shoulders, but now it's time to drop the weight. You're almost there, you're almost home. And you can see this person's almost doing like this ceremony where they're kind of like symbolically burning something to kind of release themselves from it. So maybe you're ending a contract with somebody who wasn't good for you. Hold on. I was just pausing while those people go past. I am sorry that your reading is very dark. So yeah, you have all this dark energy, right? This black crow energy, which again, it could be that you've just been doing a lot of shadow work. You know, you've been doing a lot of work on yourself. You've really improved as a person, you know, because you've done that introspection and all the work. So again, it could be something like symbolically burning the past self, the person who you used to be, which of course is something that we all tend to do around New Year. So again, happy New Year's. You may have made New Year's resolutions. You may be leaving things in 2022 that, you know, you're done with. It's like you don't want to be that person anymore. You want to be the best version of yourself. So, you know, maybe you are doing something symbolically to release yourself from those old energies. And again, it could be old energies of yourself, your own shadow. But then you have, there's definitely this release. There's 100%. Again, remember I showed you those cards in the underline that were about pain and fears. You also have these two cards, which is renewal and new beginnings, right? Moon maiden, new beginnings. So it's like, it could be something about your moon, right? Because, you know, sky mirror, I was saying, like, it's like the moon. So there could be something about your moon placement. I think I mentioned David Bowie had an Aquarius moon. So maybe check out what your moon sign is. Maybe this is what it is, right? Because I keep talking about the surface of the planet and what you're like behind closed doors. So your sun sign, because you have sun here. So maybe you're like sun sign Aquarius. And you've got, I don't know, moon sign Venus or something like this. It depends, right? It's going to be different for everybody. So some of you have an Aquarius sun, right? Which means you present in a quite a cold, quite aloof, quite an icy way. But you could have a really slushy moon sign. So if you've got like a water sign moon, that's going to be very, very spiritual. It's like the sun, your sun sign is like how you present to the world, what you're like, kind of what your default setting is, right? What people think of you. Your moon is your secret self, your private self. So people who perhaps are in your family, friends who know you, who've known you for a number of years, the people who get to see the side of yourself that you keep hidden, right? The behind closed doors your private self. Only those who are closest to you will get to know that moon. So if we're talking about your external self, right, the planet's slushy core, and then the hard rock inside, it could be your sun is how you present and your moon is how you are. So if you've got an Aquarius sun, you could be very, very cold and icy on the surface. Maybe you've got a really slushy moon placement. On the flip side of that, because that's what I've been picking up on all for the reading, you could have a very approachable sun sign, maybe like Leo or Venus sun sign, but actually you've got something like you could actually have something like an Aquarius moon. An Aquarius moon is quite cold, it's quite sharp, it's quite aloof, it's quite independent. It's not bad. There's a lot of really positive qualities to Aquarius, like being able to be very compassionate and really think about the greater good. Aquarius energy is very much about the super ego, right, or the highest version of ourselves. So you know, really the greater good. It's an energy that thinks about the community and the collective, and you know, Aquarius is an energy that always tries to do the right thing, but it's very strategic, it's mental, right? It's swords energy, it's air sign energy, so it's very, very logical. And you could be the nicest person in the world, but that logical, analytical nature, the default, you know, of that can sometimes be quite cool, quite icy. So again, just something to be aware of. You might want to explore your moon placement. Maybe you're working with your moon sign more. Maybe you're showing people, you know, maybe you're taking off the mask to a certain extent. You're showing people, you're letting people see past the persona of your sun sign to your moon sign. Again, maybe it's just opening up more, being a little bit more approachable. It could be something like that. It's getting really dark.
Just turn the light on.
No, because it doesn't work very well. I'm just talking to my kid in the background here. It doesn't work very well. It's because the light's behind me, it casts a shadow, which could be actually a message for the reading itself. But yeah, I want to say that this darkness that you've been carrying, that's been a weight, maybe it is like keeping yourself hidden. It's been a weight, it's been a heavy responsibility. Maybe you did hold back, again with this kind of like turning away, take it slowly energy. It's like that's been dark for you. I'm seeing that coming to an end in 2023. And again, you have the Sun card here. So really working with that energy. And then getting some kind of enlightenment, getting some kind of like higher wisdom, higher knowledge, higher frequency. It's like working with spirit, working with divinity, working with the good things, because you've got the owl spirit, which is, again, it's very symbolic of like high priestess energy and Scorpio energy. So again, maybe you've got Scorpio placements, but again, it carries wisdom, right? It carries wisdom of that comes after introspection, right? It's like you've learned the lessons, and you've also climbed this mountain. So you've got the holy mountain. It's not any old mountain, it's the holy mountain. So it's like this peak of spirituality, and there's something coming. So yeah, climbing the mountain is always talking about like Nine of Wands energy, something that's been a struggle, but it's like achieving enlightenment, right? It's like gaining the higher perspective, gaining the wisdom that comes from working with your superego, your higher self. And again, we're going back to this card where it's like this circle, this symbolic like fire dance energy. Maybe you've done like a fire dance. There's like this symbolic burning, right? It's like I want to say that there's something that you're doing, especially if, I don't know, you've got a reputation as being very cold, or you've got a reputation as being a bit of a player or something like that. Like, because you've found something that is so, it's like it's just right. It's like it's what you've been searching for. It's what you need. You don't need anything else when you get that energy. Maybe it is, maybe you don't, maybe because you're Aquarius, again, like it's a very independent energy. Maybe you're like, I don't need anyone else. I don't need to be in a relationship. You know, when I need that feeling of being loved, I can just close my eyes, I can meditate, I can search within myself for that bright white light energy, and it's there, right? God loves me, if you believe in God. If you don't, it's just like spirit loves me. I can feel my spirit guides around me. I know I'm loved, I know I'm safe, I know I'm protected. I love myself. I don't need a partner in my life, right? So maybe this is, you're ending some sort of contract, but I don't see it. I see it as there's definitely a certain someone who matches you, right? They're also emotionally independent in a way where they're not clingy, or they're not you know, they don't threaten your independence. Again, maybe doing things a different way. You know, maybe this is the relationship you're looking for. But again, it's got this feeling of like, whatever's ending for you, whatever's closing out for you, whatever this ritual is of like closing out that past cycle, with this kind of gold behind at the top of the mountain. You see this kind of like ring here and here. I'm sorry, it's so dark. It's like you want this to be seen. It's like you're doing this publicly. So this could be like, I don't know, tweeting out that you're leaving a relationship, or it's like you're making it official by making it public. You want it to be seen. You want this to be witnessed. Again, because again, it could be something about your reputation and like an old version of yourself that was more lower vibrational, and you want people to know that you're not that person anymore. You then get the Dragon's Hood, protecting the future. So I don't quite know what this means, but take it as it resonates, leave it if it doesn't. Again, it's something to do with the public display of closure. That is, it's like people need to know this in order for you to protect what you're going to do next, right? It's like you need to clear the path, or you need to clear out the karma, or something like that. It's like it has to be a clean closure of the past in order to have this brilliant future that you're manifesting for yourself. You're working with spirit, you're working with the star energy. So then there's this one more card that I want to show you in the underlying, because it's absolutely fascinating to me. Again, sorry, the reading itself is so dark. You've got the crow here, the crow here, the crow here, this dark guardian spirit here, and then the last card I want to show you is the white raven spirit. How fascinating is that? So you go from this dark energy to this white bird energy. So it's like you have, at this point in the reading, it's like you have this spiritual cleanse. It's like you let the sun, maybe it's just like you want to be witnessed, right? You want to put everything out on display. You want to really kind of like really, I don't know, cleanse your reputation, or, you know, it's like you want a public clean slate is the way it's coming through. So with this energy of clarity, of what's the word, what is it when corporations do it, because I was getting like titans of industry with the Uranus energy. It's like maybe taking ownership of the shadows of the past, wanting to be upfront, wanting to be, what's the word when a business is like, you know, like how I just saw one of the American politicians who was running for president. He'd put in his tax returns, right? So it's like everything was clear, everything was on the table, everything was it's like everything could be scrutinized. So it's like you've got nothing to hide, you've got no shadows, because you know you're letting the sun shine right through you. And in doing this, in letting the sun shine through your soul, right, the starlight energy shine through your soul, it's cleansing you and it's healing you and it's giving you this clean slate for 2023. So really, really high vibrational positive reading. What I do want to bring up at this point, again, why I keep talking about your shadow, is because the song that came through for you when I randomized a song at the start of the reading, kind of off camera, just so I was understanding the reading properly, the song was Deal with the Devil by Rory Webley. So it says, I did a deal with the devil in my bedroom. Yeah, I sold my soul to forget you and the things we do, but I needed to forget you. But Lucifer is a certified trickster. I shouldn't have done a deal with the devil, but I was desperate, sitting in my bed all alone, getting wasted. But one dark night, I grabbed his pen and signed my name and gave it away. Please just take this pain away. Make me forget their stupid face. This could be something that you've done. Again, go and check out that song for the full lyrics. But it could be that you experienced something like a breakup, perhaps. I'm just trying to, you know, this pain, this three of so dark. I don't know, it's so dark. I'm so sorry. But again, the light is coming in for you. Don't worry. When it's dark, you know, you always have the next day. And again, that idea of like the 42 years of darkness, I feel like that's what you've been through. So yeah, this pain, this Three of Swords energy, that when we're hurt, right, hurt people. So whatever this pain was for you in the past that hurt you, you just wanted to be rid of it. And perhaps you couldn't, for whatever time you weren't connecting with those higher energies of like God or, you know, the super ego. So you did a deal with your id, right? You did a deal with your shadow. You did a deal with the devil, symbolically, and you gave your soul away, right? Symbolically. And maybe you feel like this. Maybe you feel like you regret. Maybe you made a wish. I've been watching Labyrinth today. You know, like she makes the wish and then she regrets the wish. You've got that energy. So it's like, I want to say that the reading itself is telling me, especially with like the white raven and the sun and everything like that, it's like, you've, like, they're showing me, have you ever watched Bedazzled with Brendan Fraser, where he makes a deal with the devil and the devil's Liz Hurley, but at the end of it the devil's just been teaching him lessons, right? She's not really been trying to steal his soul. Maybe she has a little bit, but it's like she was actually teaching him something. She was teaching him a really important lesson, and she's happy. Like when she releases him from the contract at the end, she's happy. So it's like, you maybe thought there was no hope for you at one point. You thought you'd sold your soul in some sort of way. I'm hearing wish came true. And you had a lesson to learn in that, right? And you've learned the lesson now, and spirit is here. The sun card, right? The star card, the sun card, all this protection energy, all this really such a high vibrational reading is telling me that you're going to be okay, right? It's like your soul saved. If that's what you've been worried about, you've done it, right? You've achieved it. You've got to the top of the holy mountain. You've symbolically released yourself from the past version of yourself, and you're all good, right? You and God like this now, right? So maybe not, I don't know. It's your 2023 reading, right? It's a process. Let's get you another song. So can you tell me more for Aquarius, please? Can we close this reading off? Can you give me the last message that needs to be communicated in this reading. Oh my gosh. You've got Love on a Mountaintop. I'm sorry, the reading is so dark. Let me show you. Love on a Mountaintop by Sinitta. So, love on a mountaintop, so high that we won't ever stop. Making love on a mountain, drinking love from a fountain. You're loving this poor girl like I'm some kind of queen when you know that I'll never have a doggone thing. But high up on the mountain, boy, you'll find so much. It's like $1 million just to have your touch. I don't know, maybe you're going on up a literal mountain with somebody. That's so funny that you picked that song. Okay, Love on a Mountaintop by Sinitta. Go and watch the music video. And it's a treat, it's a laugh, it's an experience. When I was a little girl on a TV show, Sinitta performed on it, and she performed that song. And I'm looking back on it now, I'm like, that song was inappropriate for a 6-year-old girl to witness. So let's get you a totem as well. I'm sorry, it's so dark, but we're nearly done. Thank you for sticking with me for this. Again, I just started the reading too late. I thought I could squeeze it in before the sun went down, but didn't. So can we get a totem for Aquarius? What sign from spirit should Aquarius look out for the next couple of weeks? Gate. All right, check out the gate and the dance. Gate and the dance. All right, take that as you will. I don't want to interpret it. It's between you and spirit. Gate and the dance. Watch out for those things for the next couple of weeks. Interpret them as you see fit. Again, everything is all in your own personal interpretation of what I'm saying. You don't have to take anything literally. You don't have to do what I'm saying. It's just a story that cards are telling me. It's not going to be for it's not. It's a general reading, so it's not like a one size fits all. To show me a glove. Maybe somebody's putting on a glove. Yeah. Do interpret it and apply the bits that are relevant to you in your own personal life, and leave anything that doesn't quite fit for whoever else is vibing with that energy. All right, Aquarius, this looks really good for you. Keep the vibe high. You always do. That's who you are. Right, very, very closely connected to that kind of like star energy. Very high vibrational, very super ego. So keep doing what you're doing. Try and keep your heart open. Try and connect with the slushy parts of your personality. You know, it's good to have those. You know, don't go full ice queen or king. And yeah, I don't know, have some fun in 2023. Take care of yourselves. Happy New Year. I'll see you again soon. Bye, friends. I have to say, I don't know if you caught my daughter saying goodbye there at the end. As I closed out your reading, and I don't know if the camera caught it, right as I closed out the reading, and I've been talking about all this darkness coming in, right? Exactly as I pressed stop, a light came on opposite me in somebody's like garden, you know, like when there's movement and a light goes on. So I think it's very symbolic, and I really want to just mention it at the end of your reading. When the reading ended, a light went on. Take it as you will. Take care. Bye.